Okay, this class will begin on Monday, August the 18th, and it runs through October the 12th, 2025. This is a first session class. This is an 8-week class, so that means that you are going to be doing double the work as a traditional 16-week class. It is strictly an online class. And so one thing that you need to make sure that you've looked at is that you know when your assignments are due. They are due on Thursday as your original discussion board, and that is where you post a response to the question I have asked. And then on Sunday, you have replies to two of your peers for your discussion board, your case study, and your chapter quizzes. No late work is accepted, so you need to work ahead. If you are an athlete and you know that you are going to be out of town on the weekend, then you either have to know that you have acceptable Wi-Fi if you're going to be staying in a hotel. And I've had them email me, the Wi-Fi's here's not good and I can't get it posted. I'm sorry, you have a full week to get that work submitted, so make sure that you submit it before you leave. You are not exempt from submitting it on time simply because you're out of town for an athletic event. So make sure that you look and you know I'm going to be out of town in Podunk Holler, Kentucky, playing football or basketball or whatever. Make sure you have your work submitted before you leave. Then review your syllabus, print off the test schedule, and keep it so that you know when everything is due. And I'm sure that all of you have logged into Canvas and you know what you're dealing with. If you have problems getting into your Canvas account, make sure that you go contact IT at the number listed here, and they will help you get logged in. When you are doing your work, make sure you're using Chrome, Google Chrome, or Microsoft Edge. I prefer Google. They seem to work better together. When you are using an Apple product, Canvas and Apple and Safari do not play well together. So if you use Google and you've got your iPod or iPad or your iMac or whatever, then you shouldn't have any problems. Make sure that you add the Canvas app to your phone so that you can receive emails directly to your phone. Okay, we're going to be using the new edition of the 7th edition of M-Book by Farrell and Farrell. You can buy this book. If you do research on the web, might find a cheap book. You can also get it through the bookstore as inclusive access, means that it's going to immediately pop up in your Canvas account. Or you can buy directly from McGraw-Hill. It is, again, M Business. It is the 7th edition. It is not absolutely required. It's not mandatory, but it is recommended because you've got reading material. Your discussion boards come a lot from the book. Your case studies some of them come from the book. I do have narrated PowerPoints that would help you if there's a reason you just financially cannot buy the book. Okay, this is what it's going to look like when you log into Canvas. This says Fall Semester 2024. Of course, this will be a different semester, but you will have your buttons over here. There's your announcements. The most important one that you're going to look at is these modules, and they run from Sunday through Sunday. The class week really doesn't start till Monday, but everything is always available on Sunday. So if you've got a little extra time, then you can start working ahead. If you know you're going to be out of town, work ahead. Get that discussion board posted, get your case study posted, do your quizzes. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Here's your grades. I automatically try to get grades, make sure they're updated immediately, so that I usually try to grade as I'm going along. try to get all my discussion boards graded by Friday morning. Then I will have everything else graded by Monday morning. So your grades are pretty well up to date. Check your grades, see where you stand. If your grade is below what you want it to be, then you know you got to buckle down and put in a little more work. All right, so this is your discussion board and case study. And so you would click on the link in Canvas under modules, and this gives you kind of an overview for discuss yourself. It tells you the point reductions that are going to be taken if you do not meet the minimum requirements of the word. Week one, you do not have to have any kind of a APA citation because all you're doing is introducing yourself. Here is week 2 discussion board, and this kind of shows you again what we're doing, because there you have a video. So you're going to watch this video, and this one is taught for week 2. It's talking about the USA trade, Japan trade wars. Again, here's your point deduction. If it's less than 200 for 180 to 199, it's 5 points. If it is not posted by Thursday at 11:55, you're losing an additional 10 points. There it is for 170 to 179, 20 points if it's not posted by Friday evening at 11:55, and so on. So then if it's less than 129 words, you get no points. So it's 100 points each week. So you want to make sure that you get those posted on time and you meet the requirements. This is the case study for Taylor Swift. And it says, after watching the video concerning Taylor Swift, you have 2 of the 3 questions. You do not have to answer all 3. If you need to add one of the other questions, like you select 1 and 2, and maybe 3 you need to incorporate in order to meet the minimum word requirement, you can. And so it gives you 3 questions. It is, oops, let me get back, I'm sorry. Go back. It's not going to let me go back. Okay, but you can read and see. You have two case studies, and so you want to make sure that you upload it in Canvas via a Word document. So if you do not have Office 365 on your computer, make sure that you go into your RU email account and download Office 365 to your computer. Review your syllabus and Canvas. Make sure if you have any questions on the grading policy to let me know. You need to keep up with your tentative schedule. If you are a freshman and this is your very first online class, one thing I've always noticed with my freshmen is you let time slip away from you. And you have to be motivated and you have to be dedicated to do your work, or you will not pass this class. So make sure that you know what is due. Your work is either going to be due on Thursday, and the only thing due on Thursday is your discussion board. And the why that is Thursday is so that you give other people time to look at your post and choose if they want to reply to you. If you fail to submit your assignments through Canvas on time, you will receive a 0 for it. Okay, your final project, which will be a narrated PowerPoint or other presentation tool that you can actually record on. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we have our meeting. But your final presentation is going to be due Friday, October the 10th. If you can get them submitted by Thursday, that's going to give me ample time to grade them. Believe it or not, I watch every one of the projects and I grade them accordingly to how you have presented, how much research you've done on it, and different things like that. Again, no late project will be accepted. So, you know that the end of your semester is going to be on the 12th. I'm trying to give myself time to get them all graded and get my grades submitted on Monday. Make sure that in the final presentation module, which is at the bottom of your modules, that you look for the requirements for the presentation. On Sunday, August 31st at 8 p.m. we're going to have a team meeting to discuss the final projects. Mark your calendars now and prepare to attend. Won't be any more than 30-35 minutes. And I basically go over how you're going to do your projects. At that time, you will be shown a list of companies that you can choose to do your project from. And again, it'll be a first come, first served basis of who gets that particular company. Your presentations are an individual project, but again, it must be narrated just as if you were standing in front of me in a classroom and presenting your project. So make sure that you know how to use PowerPoint, how to do a recording in PowerPoint. I've had them do them in another type of platform, and then just attach an MP3 or MP4 as long as I can hear it. So those are things you need to think about. Again, look at the rubric so you know how that works. Finally, and I don't know it flipped over, but let me tell you about it. The Navy SEAL William McCart, it says, McCarver, if you want to change the world, make your bed. One of the best videos I've seen. So hopefully you can watch it. If not, pull it up on YouTube. It's 10 minutes and it will certainly make you think about what you're doing. So if you have any questions, let me know. Be ready to start this class on Monday, August the 13th.